Hello, everyone, and welcome to Evaluation Wednesdays. This is Dushan from Creating Perfume, and I'm joined with Christy and Kylie. All right, ladies, it's time to evaluate the samples from our lemon popsicle project. Now, I just wanted to say that we did the first trials of the formulas we shared in the previous video, and they were all inspired by the idea of lemon popsicle or cold lemonade and summer nostalgia. We let them mature for about a week. Today, we're gonna find out how they are developing so far. All right, ladies, do we have our samples and scent strips ready?
Ready.
Let's evaluate. Okay, so the first sample we will be evaluating is going to be the sample titled FF003A, and that would be my sample. Just a reminder, I was going for a regular lemon popsicle accord or a base, which Kylie and Chrissy later on took and twisted, turned it, and decorated perhaps and created fragrances around it. And since this is my sample, I'm going to let Kylie and Christy go first with the evaluation. So Christy, would you like to start us off?
Sure. Let's see. This smells exactly the way I thought it would smell. Lemon, cool, feels like a popsicle. And as it's drying down, it gets more sweetness. I wish there was a little bit more lemon, but those top notes are so hard to hang on to.
I love this. It smells like a lemon candy. So like Christy said, it really turned into a sweet fragrance after kind of drying down a little bit. So I wish there maybe we can, reformulate and add just a little bit more spearmint. Because I remember when I smelled that when we were sketching, it really just like hit that part of like my brain. And I was like, wow, it smells like icy. Like I just opened up the freezer and this is all coming at me right now. So I love it. I think that's my only kind of comment that I think maybe we all can agree on. It's just a little bit more iciness.
Well, thank you, ladies. I'm actually quite content with how this is turning out to be. Yep, icy or the cold effect is definitely dissipating pretty quickly because, that's the nature of the material. Maybe we could try to add some more for sure. I would definitely be interested in what it turns out to be like, and perhaps maybe amping up a bit more citruses. But citrus and mint, they're pretty fleeting molecules, so they go away pretty quickly. And I can absolutely see where you say that you can smell like the lemon candy or just I guess lemon juice. But we could always blame it on the story, saying what you see is what you get. When you get your popsicle out of your freezer and it's a hot summer day outside, what happens? It melts.
Right. That's right.
The iciness dissipates and what you're left off is lemon juice and sugar, right? So, this is a great example to why it is so important for us to revisit our samples as they mature. We can see all the stages as, they change their tonalities because they're becoming more rounder. It makes sense. All the other materials that we use, they are enveloping and toning down the high impactful materials. But we definitely want to see possibly what this turns out in a few weeks and then potentially add more of that mint or citrus. We're going to the next sample, which is marked as FF003B, which I believe this is Christy's formula. So Christy, could you remind us what were the materials that you used for your formula?
Yes, I only used 4, and it was citron, clementine, copaiba balm note, and amberwood. Yes. So I kept it really simple.
Yeah, I really love how the clementine is just so refreshing and it adds on to that citrus scent of this fragrance. And I can always smell that little like amberwood, copaiba balm note, just kind of tying things in, making it a little bit warm, kind of like that sun beating on you, maybe by the lake or by, like a camp, like in the forest somewhere maybe.
I know that Christy was going for popsicle with something to give that woody popsicle stick character to it, right, Christy?
Right.
I think that the opening is just to die for. It is amazing. The combination of that amberwood, like Kylie said, and the copaiba balm, they create this soft, enveloping, woody, and slightly balsamic sweetness. It really works beautifully with citrus. Now, I can see the difference with what clementine does instead of that blood orange that I use in my popsicle accord, which is it's making it more sweeter and rounder. That's how I get it. It's currently drying down a little bit, and the copaiba takes the lead. I wonder, what if we dialed back a little bit of the copaiba and perhaps maybe even add a touch of that cedarwood atlas to bring out that more dry, woody character of the popsicle stick? Maybe that could get us even closer to the popsicle stick impression. But otherwise, I think it's wonderful.
I see what you're saying because it's true. I lost the popsicle stick, that scent that we had when it was first sketched, but now I really get the clementine, which is nice, and I like the roundness of the citruses, but I miss that part of what I was going for, the popsicle stick. So yes, I think I would like to add the cedar wood note that you mentioned to see if I could get that popsicle stick scent back with it again.
The thing is that whenever I smell the copaiba balm, what I'm getting is balsamic character more so than the dry wood. That's why I suggested, perhaps that is what can bring the effect of the dry woods. But I would also keep the copaiba balm because, it's intriguing to what it does to the very top notes. And it's definitely acting almost like a fixative, if you will. Kind of makes them last just a wee bit longer. So, yeah. But this is really good. The opening is just absolutely stunning. So I love it. I really love it.
I don't know if you two can smell this as well, but after it's kind of dried down, I'm kind of getting a little bit of like a Fruit Loop scent.
I totally get it.
Just a little bit. But I love it. I think it's nostalgic.
I feel like that's the citron undertones that are tying a little bit to the amberwood. So absolutely, like the Fruit Loops. I see.
That's a good call. That's a good call. I totally get that.
So there you go. If you wanted to go for the Fruit Loops, you probably want to rebalance it to where the majority of it would be amberwood and citron, and maybe you're going to get that effect. This is a great way to kind of discover what you could be also doing with the notes that you've used in your formulas. So hey, another inspiration, right?
Right.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Now, last but not the least, certainly, it is FF003C, which is Kylie's formula. Now, Kylie, could you please tell us what were the notes that you used and what you were going for? Just remind us of what you were going for in this formula.
Yes. So I took Dushin's lemon sorbet, lemon popsicle accord, and I decorated it a little bit. So with the ones that we previously discussed being citron, sweet moss, spearmint, floral petals, it's no secret, and blood orange, I added citrus blossom, sandalwood musk, and amberwood to create a kind of summer beach day, enjoying a sweet citrus treat by the beach, maybe a little sunscreen kind of flowing in the air too. So let's see if that kind of turned out like I hoped.
Christy, would you like to start with this one?
Sure. This well, there you go. It already tastes to me like a hard candy. It smells like the vanilla and the sweet moss just clobbered it.
Right.
Which I love, but I've lost the popsicle, kind of like I lost the popsicle stick in mine. I think this is what happened with this one. Do you get that?
I actually love how Kylie decorated the lemon popsicle a quarter base. Now here's what I'm getting. I'm getting a lot of citrus blossom note. It's so prominent. So maybe maybe even a bit too much. So here's what I would do. I would potentially reconsider toning it down a little bit, because it's, for me at least, it's kind of pulling my attention from what Christy said, from the popsicle aspect, from the citron and the blood orange.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here is another thing. The sandalwood musk note that you use, Kylie, it is fantastic. It's sweet, woody, musky. It even has that subtle tonka bean undertone. I don't know if you ladies can kind of smell that as it dries down,
Mm-hmm.
but it's there. What I really wonder is if perhaps we were to use the opulent sandalwood instead of the sandalwood musk.
Mm.
Maybe it would have a more creamier and maybe even brighter effect as it dries down. It could lift the overall composition and slightly modernize it, if that makes any sense. But definitely worth the test. But as is, it's drying down to something pretty commercial, which is what a lot of people would be going for. I appreciate the dry down.
Yeah, I agree. I think both of you are right. The citron is kind of lost in there. And to be fair, I did put 10 drops of citron within the 100-drop formula. So it did get a little bit lost in there. And I really think that maybe I could rebalance it out. Maybe do a little more citron, less citrus blossom, or less sweet moss. But those are all really great comments, and I appreciate them. And I'll definitely think about them and reformulate potentially.
Right. And we also do want to give them some benefit of the doubt. I mean, they could change a little bit, be more rounder within the next few weeks. So, hey, give them some time, right? And then we can go back and revisit them eventually and see what they look like. And if we do really require to rebalance all of this, then yes, we should do that. But great job. I think we did a great job. Don't you
I
agree?
do too.
I agree.
So there you have it. Those were our first trials. Each one captures a different facet of that lemon popsicle idea, from bright and juicy to woody and sweet. I actually love them. We'd also love to hear from you. Did you try any of our formulas, and what do you think? And if you created your own, we'd love to hear what you came up with. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye.